I don't even know how to intro this one.
It's the future from the past.
It is. It's weird. It's weird, I'll give you that. Hey, what's good guys? My name's Chris. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. Today we got a detailed look and breakdown on these potential bad boys right here. And this is the Under Armour FUTR Elite, brand new model from Under Armour. It's pretty interesting because they've got their new stuff or their modern stuff mixed with stuff that we've seen many years ago. Apparently this is like their future of basketball, which I find very interesting because I think that the Curry stuff is just a little bit better, but you know, we'll talk about that in a second. They did come in promo packaging and it was ridiculously oversized. Like it's like a box like this big and it was unnecessary. So I don't have anything to prop them up with except for this Under Armour box. These will get a future review, but these are cool, man. I really like these. I know that some people don't like these, but I really like this. This is the second iteration of the Speed Slip, and these are wild. So stay tuned for that. But today, again, we are talking about these guys right here. This is an interesting setup because some people have been begging for brands to do something like this as far as the fit is concerned. So it'll be interesting to see if you guys actually put your money where your mouth is and support something that does this. But basically, I took these out because I've had them for a little while now. Thank you to Under Armour, by the way, for sending them over. I greatly appreciate it. However, I'm still gonna give my honest thoughts like I do all the time. My first thing that I'm gonna actually like harp on them with is the way that they rolled them out with the press release and the unveil and all that stuff, which was all fine and dandy and nothing was wrong with it, minus the fact that there was no breakdown. There's no tech breakdown. I harp on every brand about this, and now it's Under Armour's turn. If this is the future of your basketball, you need to, you know, we need an exploded view of what's in here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that they described everything, but we want to see it. I want to see it. Customers want to see it. So please use the artist's sketch and renders, like the footwear designer, and use those in your presentation during your press releases from now on. It's very simple. You've already got them. Just scan them, put them online, and then you've got something to show in addition to the actual product itself. That's my only like main gripe is like, where was the cool stuff? You're telling me all of these things, but you're not showing me anything. So that was the part that I was a little bit disappointed in, especially when it comes to the knit and the plate. However, I was able to take these out on court, so we're gonna kind of give you a perspective from both sides. So we're gonna talk about the tech and we're also gonna talk about how it performed on court. First things first is the midsole and outsole, which is obviously their flow system. So we've got a one-piece flow bottom. This is not the same exact stuff, even though when you look at the outsole itself, it does look just like, you know, the Curry stuff. Like it's very similar, if not identical to, I don't think it's the 11, but like the 8 and the 9, something like that. So I could be wrong on the numbers. Maybe it is the 11. They all kind of look the same to me, so I apologize. But the main thing is that this stuff works great and there's no really ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's a really good setup. Does it squeak? No. Does that mean that there's no traction? Of course not. Everybody that's played basketball for any amount of time should know that squeak does not equal performance and traction or grip. What that's telling you is that you're sliding. That's the grip trying to grip. So you got that screech. Now, if your shoes are silent and you stop on a dime, guess what? Elite traction. Now, as far as the cushion is concerned with the shoe, it is flow, so it's all one piece, as you guys can see. This is an exaggerated, in my opinion, version of the flow technology. This one, it feels like you're wearing a hovercraft, you know what I mean? Like, the only thing I can really, like, in my mind compare it to is like a Yeezy shoe, where the bottom is so bulbous, where it's just like, is that necessary? But in this case, it does promote stability, it just doesn't equal cushion. So the flow feels just like every other flow midsole does, which is fairly dense. It gives you a lot of good court feel, so your reaction time is going to be greater than something with actual cushion in there, like something that's mushy. But in order to kind of combat that, what they've done is they've really sculpted the what people call the rocker effect. So the back of the heel really slopes upwards. That way, if you're stepping on your heel, you're able to just flow, no pun intended, into your forefoot and into your stride. Honestly, it works well. It's just not the most cushioned of cushions. So this is where I feel like something like the Curry 11 is a little bit better. Not only do you feel a little bit closer to the ground, but you also have a dual density setup, whereas this is just single density and that's all you get. They do try to kind of alleviate that with the internal strobel. There's a additional foam pad in there. It's like a blue foam. And then they also give you this foam kind of like Ortholite style insole. It's a little bit cushioned. It's fairly dense for Ortholite, but it's not like the greatest thing ever. So if you wanted to switch this out to anything else with more cushion or more support or whatever it is, you can. It's not glued in, so you can pull it right out and put it in anything that you want. So yeah, when it comes to flow, more doesn't equal better. It just means that it's thicker looking and kind of awkward on foot, in my opinion. It's not a bad performance shoe. It's just not something that I prefer. Now, in between the Flow and their IntelliKnit upper is actually a TPU plate. The plate itself is mad strong. I would love to know if there were a diagram of the shoe where that plate extends to, because we could see it right here on the midfoot area, and that's for lateral containment. And we can also see it poking through the midsole or the outsole right down there, and tons of torsional rigidity. This is awesome, but there's no forefoot flex. So what is this? Is this Pebax? Because in the press release it says TPU, and Pebax is a TPU, but it's a little bit more springy. So if it extends all the way through the forefoot like that, and it's causing this kind of stiffness in your hand, but snappiness on your foot and in your stride, then I'm assuming that it's going to be a Pebax plate. But again, to confirm that, it would have been nice to have had like a blown up image of the shoe, and it would have been really cool to see that. As far as the overall rigidity and all that stuff, the torsion support, it's fine. Like, it's gonna be good for most people. I will say that the arch area feels lackluster, like there really isn't one. When I put my foot in the shoe the first time, it made me feel like I was like inverting my knees a little bit, which was awkward. So if I would have put in an insole with an arch plate in there, it would have straightened my alignment out and it would have been perfect. Now, the IntelliKnit upper is the main body of the shoe. It's actually the entire body of the shoe, and this is the part that they really are trying to sell. They're like, hey, this is the future of Under Armour basketball. The IntelliKnit has zone structures and this, that, and the other, but they don't tell you where. They don't tell you how. They just tell you that it's there. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, bro, like, where is the description? Based off of what I found, from the forefoot back is heavily structured, and I don't mean that in an uncomfortable way. It's just that the sidewalls of the shoe and the rear of the shoe has a kind of like TPU layer inside of it, and thank goodness it does, because that was really what saved the shoe overall, in my opinion, from the forefoot fit. So this whole section of the shoe reminds me heavily of the Curry 4s. The tongue is very stretchy, just like those. The ankle area also stretchy. A lot of people think that this is ankle support. I hate to break it to you, but it's not. It's like playing in lows, but with a tall sock. All the support really comes from the heel and that plate, as well as the flat base and platform. And in those sections, they do an exceptional job, so there's no lack of support or anything like that. Inside the heel is a very strong heel counter that's internal, and then there's also a lot of heel sculpting and molding, so there's a lot of pillows in there that are really cupping your ankle. Once you put your foot in here, like I said, from the forefoot back, it's like a suction cup on your foot. It feels awesome. The forefoot section right here, where you see all the different kind of ribbed layers, and then when you look really closely, you can see that the knit is a little bit more open. It's a little bit more stretchy, whereas everything else from the main body back is a very tight knit for all of that support and containment. That's the area that I had a problem with. This is the area that I'm curious for people that want toe splaying room in their footwear, basketball footwear to be specific. This is gonna be that type of fit for you. It's not the type of fit that I like. I like a tight, snug fit. When researchers with all of these footwear brands, both Adidas, Nike, and so on, they actually like scan the foot, not only when it's not in motion, but during motion. And I'm not talking about while it's in a footwear product, I'm talking about while it's barefoot in general. It's very interesting stuff, but they have found, based off of their research, that when toes are bound for certain athletic sports and movements, you get more or greater athletic capabilities out of the body. That's not the same thing as what you would do off the court, you know what I mean, or outside of the sport. Outside the sport, you want that toe splay room, especially if you're playing a linear sport like running. That is perfectly fine. You want all of that splaying and stability. But when we're talking about lateral movements, you need tight, snug support, because when your foot is barefoot and you're making those movements, it's not doing this, it's doing this. It's trying to grip the floor so you can go back that way, or whatever it is that you're trying to do. So this shoe in the forefoot allows you to do that. But again, for basketball, not the best thing, at least not for me. I did not like the lateral shifting that I felt inside the shoe with that section while I was playing. Now, as far as the fit is concerned, they do fit true to size. So whatever you typically wear, that is what I would recommend. For those of you guys that do want that super snug, secure fit, you may be able to go down half a size and get away with it due to how stretchy that forefoot area is. And that's only if like you truly want to try these things out. There are other shoes that can accomplish the same thing that you're looking for without it being these. So that's what I mean by, if you are one of those people that wants that toe splay within your basketball shoes, then look at this shoe. This could be the thing that like provides that for you. But if you're not, this is probably not going to be the shoe, even if you size down. It just might be a little bit better. But with all that being said, what?
Question of the day.
Oh yeah, sorry, forgot. What is the question of the day?
Today's question of the day is, what is everybody's comfort food? Like, what's that thing that you go to snack on? I know yours.
What?
Chewy candy.
I wouldn't consider that comfort food.
But that's like a typical thing for you to like
That's when I'm playing Fortnite. I don't walk around with bags of candy.
Okay, well, what do you carry around in your pockets as your comfort food?
I don't carry
Some tater
food.
tots?
I don't carry food in my pockets, thanks. But no, if I were to say, like, if I wanted some food that's comforting for me, it would probably be, well, there's levels to it. So if I am finished playing a sport like basketball, comforting food would be either tacos or pho, some nice warm soup. But if I'm talking about some from my childhood where like I eat it and I'm just like, whoa, and I get transported back to like 5 or 6 year old me, I would have to say it's spaghetti, ketchup, and butter.
No, that's not a comfort food.
It is a comfort food.
But
when I eat it, I'm internally comforted.
You've only eaten it like once as an adult.
Because I'm not poor anymore.
You ate it and went, what?
I couldn't believe it, but I'm just, no, it was tasty. It was tasty. Don't count. She didn't like it, but I still ate that up. But
for our kids, then it will be cheesy pasta for the rest of their lives.
Correct. That's a comfort food. What's yours?
Probably
grilled cheese?
No, I love a grilled cheese, but like if you're gonna go like childhood into adulthood, it would be taking some bread, putting some butter on it, and putting it in the microwave.
Should I on that like she on my spaghetti, ketchup, and butter?
Ketchup and mustard?
That sounds good too.
Ew.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. I'm kidding. I would put my ketchup, or not my ketchup, my spaghetti inside of cheesy bread, just regular bread with some cheese and butter on it, and I'd make it into a little like taco sandwich. And that was always fun.
I do want to clarify. I'm not talking about like sliced bread. I'm talking about like
good bread.
Yeah, like
focaccia bread or something.
Ciabatta rolls, or like the bread that you get at a restaurant and you get to take it home and eat it later.
No, I get it. I get it. What's yours though? Sound off below and let us know. And with all that being said, I'll catch you guys on the next one. So until then, have a good one.